Hey trappers, welcome back to J-Will Trap TV. Yo guys, we've been doing great on the views. If you're like Juliana and you love this content, make sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe, and put that notification bell so you know when I go live or make a new video. I wouldn't want to send my shooter Nink to pull up on you. Let's go. Yo, welcome back to J-Will Trap TV. Oh my, dude, this episode is insane, so we just gotta jump right in. Let's go. Okay, so we start this episode with a Kanan monologue, and in the monologue, he talks about how when you throw a stone in the water, it makes waves and it can travel and sometimes go places that you can't see, but splash on people. And eventually, you know, you might not know what happened, but eventually you'll find out. Now, oh my God, that was a good monologue because everything he just said is exactly what happens in this episode. Guys, oh my God, the ripples, the waves, we are seeing a lot of things come together. Oh my God, let's go. So we got Juke at the graveyard. Juke's at the graveyard. She's visiting Nicole's gravestone. And guess what? Nicole's dad walks up and they have a somber moment where they kind of get a little bit of closure, and he tells her that he is gonna be divorcing Nicole's mom. They're going through a divorce, but they were probably gonna do that anyway after Nicole went to college. Juke and her father both say that they miss Nicole, and they have like a kind of touching moment where they kind of reconcile. He's about to leave, but then Juke says he can stay, but then he says he comes there every single day. Juke gives him some tissue, but I think the most important thing he said was that he was happy that Juke was in his daughter's life because it gave her a moment to love, and that Juke made her happy. He also asked about the tape that they made, said he wanted that tape, and Juke says she doesn't know what happened to it, and then he says maybe Linda, Nicole's mom, threw it away because, she just hates Juke. He takes off, and Juke stays there. In the next scene, we come into Bulletproof Records, and Lou is in there digging out Zisa. Oh my God, man, this girl crazy. She says they supposed to be smashing, not listening to the radio. Some Jamaicans come in and interrupt the session, and they say that Crown had some unfinished business, that he owes some money to a man named Linton Manley. So these are some Jamaican dudes. They're yelling bumper cloud. I could barely understand what they were saying. I have to go back and watch that and with the subtitles to see what they were saying. Crown put the studio up for collateral for this $50,000 that he owes Linton Manley. And I'm just like, whoa, man. This guy did that and didn't tell Lou, like, Jesus Christ, like, man, okay, so I used to feel bad about that death, but now I don't feel bad because this dude, man, he didn't tell Lou nothing. 50 grand, collateral, and he's a partner? Come on. So these guys, they take off, and then Zisa walks up and says that Lou needs to finish, but Lou is just like, he's trying to come to terms with this whole thing, so he can't really finish. So she takes off, and he's just like, man, fucking Crown. Yeah, because, yeah, Crown, you screwed up on this one, man. This is big. Those dudes probably would have killed Crown. If Lou didn't, those guys totally would have. So now we got Kanan. We switched to Kanan. He's at the house. He's playing some video games. He goes into his bag and he pulls out the revolver. And he looks at the revolver and then he pulls out the note that Howard gave to him. So we have like this balance thing, right? He puts the note back in the bag and takes the revolver. So he's going on that path. He's going down Rock's path. That was the signification of this scene. We now switch to Marvin, and he's at a pizza place meeting with Marco. Marvin says that he has a rat problem and it looks like he wants Marco to take care of it. Marvin is also trying to make a lot of small talk with Marco. He's trying to bond with them over food because, Marvin's always eating. Marco isn't too interested in the small talk though. Marvin tells Marco about the job, and Marco says he'll think about it, but not to call him. So they're gonna work together, but he doesn't want him to call him. He says he's gonna think about it, and he takes off. So now we got Rock and Cartier having dinner, and they're still talking. Cartier's talking about his business and how great it is. And we get this guy, I swear they were saying like Tremont in the episode, but I looked them up and they said Geronimo. So I don't know. So Tremont, Geronimo, whoever heard what. So this dude, he comes in and he's like, yo, why are you sitting with this ugly dude? So he's kind of trying to make fun of Cartier a little bit, trying to, take Rock by surprise. And Cartier starts, kind of telling him like, oh no, I run the business, bro. You just like, a guy that works for me. But then, that guy, Tremont Geronimo, says, nah, man, I'm running my stuff. So they kind of have like this competition, but it does seem like Cartier really is a dude running these things, right? So he goes to sit down, he leaves. It looks like they're gonna meet up later on, but he leaves, and then they switch back to him and Rock hits him with the, I thought the insurrection leaves us insubordination line because, Cartier's over here trying to say, no, actually, the homeboy, he really does work for me. He's not top dog. But Rock is like, oh, well, it didn't seem, he doesn't think that, So you can tell this makes Cartier pretty upset. And he looks like he's gonna do something about it. This guy has a little bit of ego. I told you guys, we gotta watch out for him. So next scene, we got Kanan. He is at Palomar's house. He's returning the gun. she says, oh, I hope it kept you safe, and she's like in lingerie, yeah, she's cleaning up the house in her lingerie, I guess. Kanan asks her where Karina is, and she says that she's out with friends. She then goes on to say that she couldn't live with herself if Kanan, was not safe or got into any trouble. And then she pretty much like seduces him. He's like trying to walk out, she starts feeling on him. She kisses him, and Kanan just can't resist, and he even says like, yo, you're Kareem's mom. And she says, I'm a woman first. And I'm like thinking, oh my God, man, I can't, all these women are about to use this line. Well, not all these women, but some women definitely are going to use this. I was just like, God. I was like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, so she takes her garments off, and then, Kanan and her start to get into it. So we switch to a Bible study scene, and it's being led by Claude Cook, and I guess that's who he is in IMDb. But so this guy, he's talking about Leviticus 18, and basically it's a real parallel to what we just seen, with Kanan sleeping with Kareem's mom, and he's saying that thou shalt not sleep with this, or thou shalt not do that. I'm not gonna recite the whole thing. You can go watch it again if you want. But so inside the Bible study, we got Juke and we got the boy from the church, and I don't know what this guy's name is. I'm trying to find it on IMDb, but I cannot find his name. Whatever. So the guy is kind of giving her the look. But, Juke inside the Bible study is not really feeling the Bible study. I feel like this dude is coming pretty hard with the commandments, and, she is not really ready for all of that yet. Kenya's here too, and she's just sitting there loving it, almost like she's the vice president of the church or whatever, but I don't know. So she's loving it. So that guy, he is looking at her, he is looking at Juke, and it looks like he wants to start a relationship with her. So now we got Marvin, and what it looks like is Baisley. He's in the Baisley Tower. And he walks into the back, everything's all held up, all the drug addicts are all held up in the hallway, and Marvin's like, why aren't we selling? And it turns out that Lou is back there taking all the money. So it looks like Lou is going and grabbing any kind of cash he can get to try to pay these Jamaican dudes. And it's really sloppy because they're like, we need to count it, and Lou's like, nah, I'm not counting it, it's all in my head. And you can tell Marvin is not happy, and the goons aren't happy about the whole situation either. So now we come back outside the church, and the dude is still trying to get at Juke. He says that he wants to take her out to the movies and share a drink with her. Juke says they aren't there yet, but she does end up giving him the digits. She looks at Kenya as she's doing it, and she winks at her, letting her know that she is okay with her dating him or having a relationship with him. She gives him that number, and that scene ends. Now we come in at the police station, and Howard, he's talking to another police officer, and boom, we find out. Oh my God, I was right. Well, we were right. We were right, guys. We were right on this channel. We were right. Scrappy was not a snitch. His mom was the criminal informant. Oh my God, bro. Oh my God, that was just crazy. Man, and you can tell it hit Howard pretty bad. So Scrappy's mom, she is there, and she is trying to get his murder investigated. She doesn't believe it was a suicide. She's trying to use some of her CI influence to get something moving with that. So something may come up with that. Now we're at Rock's house with Marvin and Juke. It looks like Marvin came there to tell Rock about some of Lou's movements, him taking the money and stuff. And he starts talking to Juke, and she isn't really giving him much. He starts to leave, but then he turns around and he says like, yo, when were you gonna tell me about Kenya coming back? And Juke says that she wasn't gonna tell him. But then Marvin, says like, hey man, she wasn't there. It was us. I was there for you. And then she says like, well, what did you really do for me? Like you weren't that there. But he says like, hey, and I, as a father, I felt this, what I'm saying? He's all like, bro, I was there. That's what matters. I was there. I tried every single day. Every single day. To this day. To this day. You know what I'm saying? Marvin says that Kenya left, and he's just really sad, and Juke thinks about what he says. Juke is definitely thinking about it. He's saying that Kenya has an ulterior motive, that Kenya's not doing this for nothing. I can't really see it yet. She's buying Juke clothes, taking her to church. I don't know what she can really get at this point. So now Rock runs into Tremont or Geronimo, not sure what his name is. It looks like Cartier whooped his ass. He's wearing sunglasses, and basically Rock, she pulls up on him. So this is what Rock's play is. She's gonna try to come in and undercut Cartier. She asks this guy, yo, I can give you better product at a better price, come play with me. And the guy's like, well, I don't really know you. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't want to jump into it that quickly. And he's also like, you're taking a big risk. I could just dime you out to Cartier. And this guy, he's a dangerous man. So it looks like Rock is making a big play here. It looks like Rock, not really interested in the romance thing with Cartier, just trying to learn from him how his business works, and then wants to take it from him. which I'm fine with. I like that. So now we got Kanan and Synth. They're having lunch. Synth's being a good mentor to Kanan, telling him to set goals, keep his grades up, etc. And then he breaks it to Kanan that he got a job in North Carolina being a city planner. Kanan asks Synth if he's gonna tell Rock that he's leaving, and Synth says maybe not, that maybe he should just go and not say anything. And Kanan, he's a little bit more mature than, his age. He tells Synth that you would not, have told me if you didn't want her to know. So it looks like Synth is gonna go tell her. And he pretty much agrees with Kanan and says, yeah, man, you are smart beyond your years. So yeah, we see that Burke is watching Synth as she leaves, and she calls in his plates, and then she starts to follow him as he drives off. We switch to Rock, and it looks like we're back in the Hamptons. Oh, guys, remember what I said? We're back in the Hamptons, and she's trying to get her house together. The woman's saying that they really like her offer, but the homeowners association, damn the homeowners association, you can't stand these motherfuckers. But they want her to prove her income. And Rock's like, what are you talking about? I got a record label and I got a lawnmower. What's up? Rock is still trying to get that house cracking. Let's see what happens. Will it all come tumbling down? So we switch back to Synth driving. He gets pulled over by Burke. He asks why he was pulled over, because this guy, he's clean as a whistle, right? Burke asks him why he was here in this area during the night of Howard's shooting. And he was saying, a lot of people, he's like, I don't remember how I was here. That was a long time ago. A lot of people got stopped that night. And then she starts asking a bunch of questions, Kanan questions. And he's like, yo, you know a lot about Kanan, you know what's going on. And then she even asks about what's going on with him and Rock. So he's like, I'm done answering questions, but it's clear they've been watching him. They see that he's not an associate, but he's associated with Rock. And so he gets out of, well, he doesn't get out. He has to wait for his ID because she goes and takes his ID. But he makes a funny line like, yo, how am I gonna leave without my ID? So yeah, big problem. Burke is on the trail. So next scene, we see Juke going to get the tape that Marvin stepped on fixed. So it looks like she might return that tape to Nicole's father. Next scene, we got Neek in Jersey. He's talking to his baby mama on the phone. Worrell walks up, hangs up the phone, and he gives him a bag of money, and then they start talking shop. Worrell asks Neek if Rock approved him opening up another building. Neek tells Worrell that, hey man, he's gonna run stuff the way he wants to out here. He's saying that Rock put them all out there because she wanted to put all of her problems in one spot. So he's gonna eat, but he's saying that he's basically trying to say that he doesn't want to get played like he did before. But right now he's kind of watching and waiting. At this point, Marco pulls up on them. Neek gives him that money. So this must be the interest money that they're taking off the top for them operating in Jersey. And Marco asks Neek about Marvin, if he's reliable, if he will pay him, if they do a job together. And Neek tries to get out what they're working on together, but Marco doesn't tell him. But after Marco leaves, Neek says, yeah, dude, this is not a good thing, those guys working together. Nothing good can come from that. So Neek is very observant. We switch to Burke, and she is with that records officer. They're trading favors. It looks like she is getting information on his undercover work. She's starting to put two and two together, criminal informants that he worked with. The records officer is saying that he can get in big trouble for showing Burke this information. And we see another records officer in the back watching, listening to all of this, with the guy admitting that he's not supposed to be doing this. So this guy's definitely gonna go tell somebody what Burke is up to, and maybe Howard can get in and stop all this from going on. So now we switch to Rock having dinner with the Colombians and Juliana. Rock is pretty much giving them an update on things, that she's in Jersey, that she's trying to expand. And the Colombians are a little bit questionable about all this stuff. And Juliana is also saying that she wants Neek dead. Rock tells the Colombians that she's gonna expand. She's looking to expand into Baltimore and all these other places, Maryland, and they are interested. Now, what's also interesting too was when I was watching this scene, I thought this guy standing outside was Rock's bodyguard, but it turns out this dude is over here listening for Draymond/Geronimo, and Draymond is trying to, investigate who Rock works with, and pretty much the guy delivers that the Colombians is her connect. This guy tells the guy that was listening to go investigate further everybody that was at the table. So this Draymond Geronimo guy seems to kind of be, not just a normal lieutenant. He seems like he is very, very nosy, very aware of what's going on, and he's not gonna work with Rock until he understands her whole organization. Next, we see Lou at nighttime. He gets out of his car. The Jamaican dudes, they walk up, they break one of the lights on his car with a baseball bat. Lou pulls out his pistol, walks up, And then some other dudes bum rush him from the back. They ambush him. They stop him out and they tell him that Linton is gonna need his money and they want him to know the urgency of the situation. The next scene we see Symphony at Rock's door. She just looks through, they don't open it yet. We switch to the anger management session with Renee and Marvin. It looks like this is the last meeting. Renee's thanking everybody and she tells them that they can reach out if needed while looking directly at Marvin. After they all separate a little bit, Joe comes up and he toasts to Marvin and they have a good time. They joke around with each other and Marvin makes fun of his bald head, calls him Mr. Clean. I thought it was a little rude, but yeah, the guy, he's happy, he walks off. Then Renee comes up and they start talking. She gives Marvin her number and says that she would like to hear from him. And he says he likes to be heard. So it looks like they're gonna be getting together. Switch back to Rock and Symphony. Symphony pretty much tells Rock he's leaving. She don't really care. She kind of cares, but she's like, all right, good luck. He then gets into the Burke situation, tells her that she had all kinds of questions about Kanan and his father and stuff. And then she asks what he told her and he says nothing. And she goes like, well, your version of nothing, man, it might not be the same version for me. And he says all of his secrets are safe for her. And she says, I don't have any secrets. And then he leaves. I think maybe she thought he was wearing a wire. I think maybe she thought he was wearing a wire the way she acted, you know? When she leaves, she gives him like the most menacing look. I thought she was ready to kill him. And that's interesting because we got some stuff later. So now we switch to Kanan and Kareen post-sex. And I'm like, oh my God, like, dang, dude, this is crazy. And Kareen walks in on him, right? Kareen walks in on him. She freaks out, calls her mom a hoe. And then Kareen's like, you know, Kanan's trying to get up, you know, out the bed, but man, it's too late, man. You guys seen, bro. She says the first thing a woman needs to do is know how to hold on to her man. I'm like, what kind of lessons are you teaching? Oh my God, what are you doing to your daughter? She like runs out the room after throwing milk at her mom. And Kanan's like, yo, like that's crazy, you know, like, you know, and she's like, let her go. But Kanan's like, yo, she's not gonna be okay, bro. Like, how is she gonna be okay when she just seen, you know, her mom sleeping with her boyfriend? And then she's all like, yo, forget her, baby. And then Kanan's like, this ain't regular, this ain't no regular shit. And then she's like, hey, who wants to be regular? And then she starts kissing him, you know, bringing him in, seducing him. And I'm just like, bro, what is going on here? Jesus Christ, what is going on? What is going on? Jesus. So now we got Cartier and Lou meeting. Lou tells him that Crown is gone. He tells him about the Jamaican, says he needs an assist. Cartier says that Linton Manley is a powerful guy, not a guy he should be messing with. He asks why he didn't ask Rock for an assist. Lou says he doesn't want Rock touching the label. He'll pay him the money with interest, just give him a due date. Cartier has other plans. He starts asking questions about what happened to Crown's share, and he says he wants half of Crown's share. Lou does throw out that he's gonna throw Crown's mom some pocket change. Isn't that sad when someone who murdered your son gives you some money for the murder of your son? So we switch back and Cartier's like, yo, if you want my help, it's not gonna be free. And he says this thing to Lou, which is scary in my opinion. He says, one man's crisis is another man's opportunity. You know that more than anything, Lou. And I don't think he meant that in a positive way for Lou. He's saying your crisis is my opportunity. See, and that's the thing. So Lou's hesitant, but he shakes his hand and he makes the deal. This is bad. Lou should have went to Rock because now he's in bed with Cartier, who Rock is making a play against, which was not gonna be good. They're definitely gonna run into each other. So we got Marco and Dominic and they're outside of Tony's house. Marco says they're gonna go in quick and clean, you know, handle this business real quick, just kill him and get out. Dominic's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do a better job than I did at the Catskills, et cetera, and I'm gonna make your dad proud. Marco's like, yo, my dad don't need to know about this. Don't say anything, this is my job. And then they start to get out. We got Juke and the guy from the church, and it looks like they're walking home from that movie perhaps. They're telling jokes, making fun of white folks and et cetera. They profess they had fun and they kiss. Homeboy was kind of kissing a little too much though then. Kept on kissing her, you know, she had to kind of wipe her mouth off, like, God damn. Then he says this other thing, you know, he says, like, oh, can they hang out again? And Juke says she's down, even after, you know, she got kissed like crazy. And then homeboy says, which is pretty cringe, super cringe. He says, when they have kids, there ain't gonna be no crazy white lady taking care of them or something. I thought that was, bro, come on, first date, bro. First date, relax. You haven't even been in the cat yet, and you talk about having kids? Come on, calm down, partner. I know you from church, but dang, it's the 90s, man. We're not even in the 2010s yet, bro. So now we switch back to Tony's house, and Tony and the dentist husband, they're having sex. After they have sex, oh, I love you. This dude, he walks out, she starts doing some coke, and then bam, Marco comes in, headshot right to the face, she's down. Husband tackles Marco and they're struggling, they're fighting on the ground. Dominic is standing there with the gun, can't figure out who to shoot, and Marco's like, shoot him, shoot him. So then Dominic shoots Marco. This dude, terrible. Shoots Marco, and then the dentist grabs Marco's gun and he starts shooting at Dominic, and this fool Dominic gets hit and he gets scared and he runs. He doesn't even kill the dentist. So this is bad, really bad. Marco's body's in there, Tony's in there dead, dentist dude survived. So now we got Howard and Rock at a secret meetup and they're talking. Rock is saying that Burke has to go. She's asking a lot of questions. She stopped synth, and Howard just says she's just a dog with a bone. Once she kind of gets to the bottom of whatever she gets to, she'll back off. Howard then tells Rock about him getting famous out, and he asks if Kanan told her about it, which he did not. And he says that Kanan came to him for help. He also tells her that Scrappy was not a snitch. This catches Rock by surprise. He says that he made a mistake and he's sorry. We now switch to Shannon and Adina. And Shannon pretty much, Burke lays it out that what she thinks, and she's pretty much spot on. She knows what's going on about with Howard. She pretty much figured out the whole thing. She figured out that Howard probably slept with Rock and they had Kanan. So Adina's saying, well, you're making a lot of jumps and you're not really investigating the shooting of an officer. Now you're investigating Howard, and that makes you like Eternal Affairs, and no one likes Eternal Affairs. So she pretty much tells her to back off, and then she says her mom fell down, so she has to leave. But it doesn't look like Burke is gonna back off. In the next scene, we see Kareen waiting outside of Rock's house. She steps to Rock and she says she has something to tell her. So she's probably gonna tell her that her son Kanan is being seduced by a grown woman. And I don't know how Rock is gonna take this, but someone might die. We switch back to Juke, and we see Juke, she goes up to Nicole's family's door and she leaves the Nicole tape at the door and rings the doorbell and she leaves. Howard is coming up and he doesn't see her, but she does see him, and he's going up to Nicole's father's house and he knocks on the door as Nicole's father comes out and gets the tape, and he asks Howard if he's seen who left him. He says no, but then Howard says that he needs to talk to him about Detective Burke. Howard's about to try to flip the script on Burke. He's about to get some dirt or something and tell her, yo, you can't tell nothing about me or I'm gonna do this to you and you're gonna look stupid. Juke sees this whole thing go down and she just looks on. Now we're in the studio with Cartier and Lou and Zisa singing. The vibe I got from this scene was Lou really don't want a partner at all. He's looking at Cartier with so much disdain. He looks like he wants to grab another XLR cable and put it around his neck. The only thing though is this dude's a big guy. He ain't going down easy like Crown did. We also see a scene with Tony's husband talking to some investigators. So the cops are about to be all over this probably next episode. We also see that Dominic did get shot and it looks like he's like laying down somewhere close to Tony's house. Our last scene, and oh my God, this is crazy. Oh my God, crazy. So Rock is watching Symphony pack up, and this is a dude getting out the hood, man. Leaving the hood, getting out the hood, going to a better job. And Rock is watching this dude. She got oh my God. And you see it in her eyes. She pulls up, has a silenced pistol, just how we seen in the trailer, and she points the gun at him, but does not pull the trigger, drives by it. I think Symphony probably noticed it was her, but thank God, Rock, thank God. Hopefully, I'm thinking maybe the whole Scrappy thing kind of was what kind of stopped this, made her have a second thought. But yes, she did not kill him. So, oh my God, guys, this episode was insane. It just, everything was, we have all these things going on. We got so much going on. Like 50 was saying, the ripples in the water. Yes, the ripples have come. We got Kanan and Kareen and Palomar. Something's about to go down. Rock knows about this. Definitely next episode, Rock might step up to Kareen. How is Kareen gonna handle that? She's so far pretty playful, but she does have a revolver. So, but I don't think that she's gonna be able to step to Rock. But do you think Rock would kill her? I don't think Rock would kill her. We got Marvin. The whole Marvin situation, really bad, right? His whole situation failed. Once Sal Baselli finds out about Marco and that Marvin had something to do with it, this is going to be bad for the whole Thomas family. That's going to come crashing down. There's going to be blood. This is this dude's son. And I don't know what's going to happen with Dominic, but Dominic's probably going to get killed too because he shot Marco. And maybe he'll lie about it or something, make something up, but someone's going to find out. They're going to know. The Lou situation, working with Cartier, that's one thing in itself. But with the Jamaicans and all that, But the whole Cartier situation is even worse because now that Rock is trying to pull the rug from under Cartier and take his organization from him without him noticing and losing the bed with him, someone can die. I don't know, maybe Cartier. And that's what I was saying in my burning questions video. This dude can be a big antagonist. Once he finds out what's going on, he has a big network and he has also a heavy hand. Jukebox in Kenya. Do I think that Kenya has an ulterior motive? No, at this point, I don't know what she can be getting from Juke. Juke's a good singer. That's all I can see. But I don't think anything crazy is going to go there. We still haven't seen Marvin and her have that conversation where she slaps Marvin yet. But not sure what's going to happen. And Rock, oh my God, Rock. I'm really happy that Rock did not kill Symphony. Like, Symphony, I like Symphony. I'm glad he can exit the show. No problem. Burke's situation and Howard's situation, I don't know what that's going to happen there. She's going to, obviously Howard is trying to get some evidence on her. I think so. With the Burke and Howard situation, I think that cop that was listening in on Burke getting the information from the records officer, because Howard's well respected, so that information is going to get back to Howard, and Howard's somehow going to use that against Burke and make her stop. He was also meeting with Nicole's dad about Burke, so something's going to happen there. All right, guys, I'm your boy Jay Will. I'll have some more theories and some more analysis over inside the trailer in about 2 or 3 days when I do that video. Thank you guys for watching. This episode is crazy, guys. Thank you guys for rocking with your boy. 100 subscribers. Thank you guys for chapping in. Thank you guys for trapping in. Hey, let's keep going, guys. 500, 1,000. Let's go. Let's go to the top. All right. Peace.